All right, hello, and this is Tommy Stiggs from the YouTube channel Tommy Stiggs Social Club. I am behind the avatar, however, I am also recording as a backup on this tablet right in front of me. So I am in the avatar because I will be reading and I won't be able to look at the camera, look at the screen. Okay, this is the Italian American Experience, Episode 1. As I said many times, I'm going to go through this album called The Italian American. That Avatar is actually the book that I am reading out of its 20 chapters. And here we're going to go with episode 1, chapter 1. My reading skills are not the best, but I'm going to give it a shot because this is passionate to me. And I'm very proud of the Italian American culture that I am part of. It's from the book The Italian American, an album of the Italian American by Salvatore La Giomina. It was left to me by my grandmother, and I believe it was 1970. Oh, it's 1972, actually. I thought it was 73. Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. The first chapter is The Italians, A New World. And here we go, just turning the pages. I'm going to read it off to you the best that I can and try to keep it as short as I can. I guess it's going to be an episode of 20 episodes. This is one of 20. Let's go with it. The United States is populated primarily by immigrants. We all know that. People who move to a new country from Europe and by their children and grandchildren. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Okay. The Italians make up one of the largest group of immigrants. Over 5 million Italians have established homes for themselves and their families in the United States. Yep. Although a number of them, yeah, and I do know this by friends' families, a number of them, they have returned to the native land. Most stayed stayed in America and on American soil. So that's yeah. So for them, there were many changes to be made. Some pleasant, others not so pleasant. Distasteful, actually, is the word that they use. All right, the first Italian to affect the course of American history was Christopher Columbus. As a result of his voyage to the New World in 1492, he is often considered the greatest explorer of all time. It's interesting. Some things currently have debunked or tried to, you know, make it a not so popular, often evil thing. But we as Italian Americans, we embrace that, the whole Christopher Columbus exploration. All right, so he is often considered the greatest explorer of all times, but other Italian explorers have also made their marks on American soil here. In 1497, John Giovanni Gavato explored the Atlantic coast from Newfoundland to Florida. As a result of his voyage, he claimed the land along. Wow, this is interesting. Along the Atlantic, that became the 13 English colonies. All right, so that's John Cabot, Giovanni Gavato. In 1524, Giovanni di Verrazzano explored Lower New York Harbor. The world's largest bridge connecting Brooklyn and Staten Island is named after him. We do know that. That's the Verrazzano Bridge. All right. Other early Italian explorers. From Marco de Nizza, who made important written observations on the land that eventually became Arizona and New Mexico. See that? We don't really get those things. It's probably not part of pop culture, but interesting. Yeah, that's from Marco de Nizza. Yeah. All right. So he found Arizona and New Mexico. Here we have Francesco Cheno, priest and explorer, cartographer, map maker. Actually, a cartographer is a map maker, is what they say. He explored the Southwest, and Henry de Tonti sailed down the lower Mississippi River. Wow. Okay, Francesco Viggio was an Italian adventurer who, with George Rogers Clark, helped liberate the Northwest regions during the American Revolution. Also prominent in the Revolution era was the political philosopher Philippe Mazzei. Mazzei, a friend and advisor to Thomas Jefferson. All right. It was through Mazzei that Jefferson came to believe that Italians were not only fine artists but also energetic farmers who could transform many areas of America from wilderness into gardens. And that explains how many of our families have gardens and are passionate about our gardens. Interesting. Mazzei is credited with giving Jefferson the phrase, all men are created equal. You see that? An Italian coined that or made that phrase, all men are created equal, which Jefferson wrote into the Declaration of Independence. So that's in the Declaration of Independence, all men are created equal, but it came from an Italian. See that? And the first half of the 19th century, Italian Catholic clergyman Father Samuel Mazzucchello and Bishop Giuseppe Rosati had an impressive impact on America. Mazzucchelli, a gentle apostle for whites and Indians in the Midwest, traveled the plains and forests throughout the 1830s. Conditions were often dangerous and the food was scarce. Food was scarce. Mazzucchelli published the first almanac in the Chippewa language. Rosati. The other one is Rosati. So one of them is Mazzucchelli and the other one is Rosati. Rosati helped found St. Mary's College in 1817, the first Catholic institution west of the Mississippi. This is the introductory chapter. So it's a little, not big stories, maybe not very, very interesting, but it's the introduction. Perhaps the most colorful 19th century Italian American was Giuseppe Garibaldi, a fiery champion of liberty who devoted his life to uniting Italy. Now, there's all history in Italy that's not captured in here. This is about the Italian American experience. And guys, again, forgive me. My reading skills are not perfect. I'm not an educated individual. I'm doing the best here with something that I find very passionate. We'll take it where it goes. Don't expect perfection because you're not going to find it. And as I always say, imperfection is perfection. Okay, so Garibaldi he became a citizen and worked in a candle factory in Staten Island, New York, until he returned to Italy in 1854. During the Civil War, President Lincoln offered Garibaldi a commission in the United States Army, but he declined and stayed in Italy. Huh. All the Italians mentioned thus far came to the United States before the mass Italian immigration. So they were the originals. So how many is that? 5 or 6 there that started this whole thing? Very nice. They were explorers, adventurers, missionaries, political exiles, and in large measure not ordinary or so-called typical Italian immigrants. Nevertheless, their stories are important. They show their willingness, talents, and energy improved American life. So there's some pictures here that I'm not going to show, but they're showing Christopher Columbus and just a few different things. All right, so that's episode 1. I'm like I said, I'm recording this on a tablet, and I'm going to upload this as a premiere sometime today, 7/16/2023. Like I said, guys, I'm not a perfect reader. I'm not collegiate. I'm not educated. I'm doing my best with this book here called The Album of the Italian American. Hopefully, you guys do enjoy it. So with that, I'm gonna cut this, end this recording, and upload this as a premiere. Thank you.